How y'all feeling? I usually say how you doing, but I want to know, how are you feeling? The election is over. The decision is made. So are you thinking like me? What's next? When the elect president was president before, this country went through a lot. And I know you're like myself. Those of you that are disappointed in the outcome, you're like myself. You're like when the final decision was made and the president was announced, you were like, oh no, not again. But I will not get up here and bash the president. It's just facts. We have a felon as the president of the United States. That's mind-boggling. Are you serious? The regular people, if they are a felon, they can't even go to McDonald's and get a job. And we have a president that is a felon. There's something seriously wrong with that picture. What are we going to do now? This is why I made the video the day of the election. Put God first, because I knew, and I'm sure a lot of you knew, that there was a big chance, I would say 50-50, but really there was more of a bigger chance that Trump was going to become president again. So we have to put God first. Although the election didn't come out the way that a lot of us was hoping and wishing, God is still in control. There's no greater power than God. Do y'all hear me? There's no greater power than God. No matter what the decision has been made, and our new president, again, his powers are not greater than God's. So we have to continue to put our trust in God, that even though the election is over and here we go again, not knowing what to expect, hopefully it won't be like it was before, but then there's a chance that it might be even worse. So all we can do is pray for the president, that he will make good decisions that will affect our country in a positive way, not in a negative way. People are struggling to eat, to put food on their table. What is he going to do about inflation? Is he going to make it better, or is it going to get worse? People are struggling to pay their bills. People are struggling to stay in their houses. People are struggling to pay their rent. Are those issues with housing going to get better, or is it going to get worse? People are struggling with health care. Is it going to get better, or is it going to get worse? So I have a question for you guys that voted Trump back into the White House. If employment gets worse and you happen to be one of those that lose your job, are you going to be disappointed or upset about your decision? If so, it's going to be too late. As far as healthcare, what if one of your loved ones, especially the older ones, get very sick, or they have pre-existing health issues and they can't get to the doctor? And if the worst happens, with God forbid, I don't want anything to happen to anyone, but what if that happens and they can't get the care that they need medically, and life happens, that they're no longer here? Are you going to be upset that you voted Trump back in? What about education? The educational debt is so doggone ridiculous, it don't make no sense. People could put more money into their pockets if they didn't have to pay so much education debt, high tuition. What if your child wants to go to college and you can't afford it, and then you got to get educational loans and the interest is so ridiculously high, but you voted for Trump? Are you going to be upset or disappointed? It's going to be a little too late with all those questions that I just asked. It's going to be too late if you voted Trump back into that White House. Only God knows what's going to happen from this point on. We can only keep our fingers crossed and pray. That's all we can do. When things are out of our hands, all we can do is pray. And God is of all power. There's no one more powerful than God. So I stop by to encourage you as I encourage myself. The election is over. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no need of walking around here mad. There's enough violence and evilness in this world. You got to go on with your life and just pray that God will bless each of us and our families to be able to make it, that things don't get worse. That's all we can pray. We have to think positive because there's nothing else left. We have to think positive and keep praying that God will make it all right for all of us, that God will bless us in these next 4 years. So I'm not going to hold you much longer, but I just wanted to tell you guys that we can't undo the decision. And our Vice President, Kamala Harris, we're so proud of you. You fought hard for us. When you've done all you can do, that's all you can do. But we're so proud of you. You fought really hard for us. And it's unfortunate that you did not win to bring change, the change that we need so much for this country. Our things are going to turn around. All we can do, again, is pray and hope. But most importantly, seek God and just keep praying that each of us will make it, that our country will be safe, that our military will be safe. That's all we can do, people. So you guys be encouraged and just let go and let God, because God is, even though the decision is what it is, God is still in control. I'm not a politics person, and this is going to be the last video I make about election 2024 because I'm not into politics. But I was just like the next person who wanted things to turn around for our country. We had enough of the violence. We've had enough. One more question. If you voted Trump back in, and as crazy as the violence is with weapons, what if there's a school shooting and your child is in the school where the shooter is, but you voted Trump back into the White House and we don't have control of that issue now? What do you think it's going to be like in the next 3 months, year, next 4 years? But you voted him back in. We as Americans shouldn't walk around here afraid because the violence is crazy. Weapon control is just crazy. You can't even afford to look at a person now. I saw a video, a young lady, teenager, got unalive because she looked at someone. I seen a video of a young man who went up to someone and asked them for a cigarette. He got unalive. So do we have to walk around here with shades on our eyes, dark shades, so no one can see who we're looking at? That's crazy. This doesn't feel like America anymore. Are we headed towards a third world country? I hope not. But we got to make some changes, and all we can do is keep praying, keep hope alive, keep fighting. Let's not be afraid. Let's just pray, because we have someone that's been elected again that there are no certainties. We don't know which way our country is going to go. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's in God's hands. So God bless each and every one of us. God bless you and your family to be okay, to make it. And God bless America. You be blessed. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye-bye.